Juicy Bartlett or Bosch Pierce, only 99 cents each. Save $1.10 on a value pack of fresh Purdue chicken leg quarters, $1.79 per pound. Tama spaghetti, $1.69 for a 500-gram package. $3.49 for a 64-ounce bottle of ShopRite apple juice. Save half price on selected varieties of Lay's stacked chips, only $1.21 for a 5.75-ounce tin. Visit our website at www.marketplace.bm for more super specials.
You can count on us.
Live from Bermuda Broadcasting, this is ZBM TV9 News.
Good evening, everyone. It's Friday, October 13th, 2017. I'm Jasmine Patterson. Thanks for joining us tonight. 19-year-old Michael Thomas will tonight begin serving the next 12 years of his life behind bars for the manslaughter of 28-year-old father of one, Raymond Butterfield. Thomas was first indicted on a murder charge. However, a jury found him guilty of manslaughter by fatally stabbing Mr. Butterfield outside the Blue Waters Anglers Club. Here's more. Raymond Butterfield, who at the time of his death was a father to a 3-month-old daughter, was stabbed with a knife twice in his chest outside the Blue Waters Anglers Club on May 5th this year. The culprit, a former under-21 national team footballer Michael Thomas, must spend 12 years behind bars after a jury found him guilty of manslaughter in August. Prosecutor Dakia Simpson today told the court 19-year-old Thomas is highly culpable for the crime. During a brawl outside the club, Thomas was initially punched in the face by the deceased after a spat broke out over a refused drink. The pair were split up after the initial scuffle. The jury were shown CCTV footage of Thomas charging at Butterfield from the bus stop across the road as the deceased exited the club. They collided in the middle of East Broadway when Mr. Butterfield was fatally stabbed. A victim impact statement was read out to the court written by the father of the deceased, Raymond Butterfield Sr., stating, quote, "Every day for the rest of my life, I have to live with the fact my only son was knifed to death in the prime of his life. It is the most anguishing, heart-wrenching pain I've ever experienced." He also detailed his subsequent weight loss from grief, sleepless nights, and financial strain of supporting his granddaughter. Also, the mother of the victim's daughter urged the court to give Thomas the harshest sentence possible for her family's pain. The Crown recommended 12 to 16 years imprisonment. Defense attorney Kamal Worrell said his client is remorseful and acted in a heat of passion, referring to a report identifying Thomas's anger issues. Despite maintaining his innocence throughout the trial and accusing others of carrying out the stabbing, Thomas said he takes full responsibility for his actions and gave his condolences to the Butterfield family sat in the gallery. Justice Charles Etta Simmons took into consideration the defendant introducing the bladed weapon to the fight and his persistent attack, also factoring in his age, talent in football, and prior clear record. He was sentenced to Westgate Correctional Facility for 12 years. He must also attend programs on impulse control and anger management skills. Elsewhere, police officers expressing concern over their ability to quickly respond to reports of criminal activity, as they claim an inordinate number of police vehicles are either out of service or are in a state of disrepair. This after more than $1 million was budgeted for the police garage and workshop. Gary Moreno brings us up to speed.
There are reportedly upwards of 25 police vehicles currently out of commission and parked up at the police compound in Prospect. According to one officer who spoke with us on condition of anonymity, the situation with those vehicles is quite similar to the one affecting the Department of Public Transportation buses in terms of a lack of proper maintenance. It is understood staffing at the BPS garage and workshop has been depleted through attrition, with no replacement staff being brought in, further exacerbating the problem, we understand. What's more, we're told is that while the service suffers a vehicle shortage, senior officers are being allowed to take home vehicles on the premise that should they be called out, they can quickly respond. But a well-placed BPS source argues that should not be the case, since the majority of those vehicles remain idle for extended periods, while the vehicles used for patrols and emergency response, despite their lack of proper maintenance, are in use for as much as 18 hours per day. Our source argues there is now a weekly roster for on-call senior officers, and as such there should be no need for more than one senior officer being allowed to take home a vehicle. Asked about this, a spokesperson for the Bermuda Police Service did not give a direct response. What they did tell us, though, is that recently the Bermuda Police Service experienced some mechanical issues with a number of vehicles in its fleet, all of which occurred around the same time. Solutions were put in place to alleviate the most pressing issues, and working work is going on for a longer-term solution to these issues. Response time by BPS patrols to serious incidents, though, was not affected. When asked what was the legislated fleet strength and whether the BPS was meeting that requirement, the spokesperson again did not give a direct response. Of the $49 million allocated to the Bermuda Police Service in the 2017-2018 budget, $1.4 million was allocated to the garage and maintenance, 9% or $139,000 less than in 2016-2017. Gary Moreno, reporting for the Bermuda Broadcasting News.
A sense of accomplishment tonight after the West Indian Association exceeded their goal of raising $100,000 during the Caribbean Hurricane Relief Give from the Heart telethon. The 4-hour telethon, carried live on ZFB TV7, was hosted by Gary Moreno and Power Girl Patrina O'Connor. Bermuda Broadcasting Company and Digicel were co-sponsors. Meanwhile, PLP MP Ralph Commission watched the telethon and was impressed with the links Bermuda has with the Caribbean.
Wonderful, wonderful event last night for a very worthy cause. The West Indian Association always steps up to the plate when it comes to these types of things. I remember there was a similar hurricane event maybe about 15, 16 years ago that was pretty devastating as well. And they came to the fore and mobilized resources from Bermuda to meet some of the need down there. So great. Hats off to them and ZBM. What was really gratifying for me, which put a smile on my face, was the wonderful segment put together by Hyle Davis, one of your reporters, and his team, which outlined the deep connections between the Caribbean, the West Indies, to use the older type of phrase, and ourselves in Bermuda. I thought that was a wonderful segment. There's only one little omission I found. When they talked about the more recent migrations of people from St. Kitts and Nevis, starting around 1890, they didn't identify where the migrations were taking place from. But obviously they were talking about the St. Kitts and Nevis migrations to Bermuda. They had a significant role to play. Now, as a companion piece to that, we have the column by Christopher Famous, my colleague, the MP Famous, in the Royal Gazette today, where he talks about the significant contributions, particularly from those from St. Kitts and Nevis that has been made with respect to Bermudian society.
What do you think the percentage is of the link between Bermudians and St. Kitts and Nevis, West Indians? 20, 30%, or even higher?
Well, last night we had Ed Harris, who's done a lot of work, along with a raft of other Bermudian historians on that topic. Ed Harris talked about, I think he put up a figure last night about 30%, but it seemed like he was unsure of that figure. In fact, he kind of indicated that it's probably higher than that. Today, Christopher Famous, the MP, he's talked about it maybe as high as 60%, particularly within the black community itself. If you segregate it from the whole Bermudian community, it's fairly extensive. But it's becoming even more difficult because, as historian Ed Harris said, and difficult to measure, because by this time there's both communities are so interwoven now, whereas over the last 30, 40, 50 years there's been significant connections made through marriage and relationships, having children in common, all the way from St. George's right up into Dockyard. But this story needs to be told. Christopher Famous, I think, did a great job because he talked about how the role of the St. Kitts and Nevis group in particular, the seminal role they played in the growth and evolution of the labor movement, along with allying with old-line black Bermudian families in terms of the formation and evolution of the Progressive Labor Party. And they were at the forefront as being almost like the foot soldiers, the vanguard, as Bermuda evolved as a modern democratic political entity, along with the advancements that we've made in terms of economic, political, and racial justice in the country.
Once again, cash donations can be made tomorrow, Saturday, October 14th, from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Manchester Unity Hall at the corner of Union and Victoria Street, across from the BIU. Also, our full recap of the telethon will air early next week. We'll be back after this break.
You can count on us.
Save $2 on fresh certified Angus beef top round steak, $6.99 per pound. On the vine tomatoes, just $2.69 per pound. Only $1.09 for a 12-ounce tin of ShopRite evaporated milk. Save $1.20 on Charmin Ultra Soft toilet tissue, $4.99 for a package of 4 rolls. Save $2.60 on selected varieties of Tide laundry detergent, $11.99 for a 46-ounce bottle. All Marketplace stores open 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. Monday through Saturday, and Sunday 9 a.m. to 7 p.m.
You can count on us.
Previously at Mailboxes U.S. Express. Mailboxes Unlimited gives you an address in New Jersey for just $20 a year, and we'll ship your stuff from there to here and save you over 80% on the shipping. Join the over 11,000 people that are already members of Mailboxes US Express. We are the cheapest and the fastest way to ship stuff from there to here. Excuse me while I answer my phone.
My name is Steve Thompson, and I approve of this message.
Mailboxes US Express. Sign up today.
Hi, I'm Charles Webb, inviting you to join me on Monday nights at 8 for Season 2 of Inside Bermuda Homes, starting October 16th, a program showing how Bermuda lives. That's Monday nights at 8 on ZBM TV 9, October 16th for Inside Bermuda Homes.
Premier David Byrd found himself in the hot seat today when he responded to suggestions Bermuda is a tax haven during an appearance on BBC television in London. Mr. Byrd, who is also Minister of Finance, appeared on the show Talking Business with host Aaron Hesselhurst.
Right Honourable David Byrd, who is none less the Premier of Bermuda in the House. David, great to have you with us. Thanks for joining us. Let's start off with that tax haven thing, because I want to start off with, straight away, get it out there. Oxfam named Bermuda as the world's worst corporate tax haven in December of last year. You say
that. Thank you for having me on. Certainly that Bermuda is a leader in global tax compliance, transparency, and is without question a good global citizen. And I was just in Paris on Monday, and I met with the Secretary General of the OECD. And Bermuda's ratings from the OECD on transparency are equivalent to that of the United Kingdom and Germany, and in many instances, in many international ratings, we're ahead of the United States. So we believe that we are being a leader in this space, and we will continue to exert our leadership position to ensure that Bermuda is up on the latest standard.
The Premier has held meetings with top officials in the EU, the OECD and the UK all week. Well, earlier today, Levita Fogo, the Minister for Government Reform, joined members of the Department of Statistics in recognizing CARICOM Statistics Day. The day is annually observed on October 15th, with this year's theme being Improving the Lives of People, advancing the action plan for statistics in CARICOM. The public will be aware that the department is responsible for collecting, processing, analyzing, and providing stats for government and the general public, thus enabling them to make informed decisions. Today at the Washington Mall, stats officers hosted an information booth so that members of the public could learn more about what the department does. Minister Fogo, who took the opportunity to visit the booth, said stats and information gathering plays an important part of our daily lives. Some of the projects that the department is known for include the Employment Survey, the Labor Force Survey, compilation of the GDP and retail sales reports, as well as conducting census interviews. And the Ministry of Public Works tonight reminding motorists that starting at 9:30 Monday morning, a road closure will be in place for the Frog Lane and Montpelier Road roundabout to continue the road paving works near the roundabout. As a result, Frog Lane will be closed from BFA Way to the roundabout. Parsons Road will be closed from Roberts Avenue to the roundabout, and Montpelier Road will be closed from Happy Valley to the roundabout. The motoring public is encouraged to use alternative routes when traveling near this roundabout and to follow the area traffic notices in place. The ministry thanking the public for their cooperation and patience while these roadworks are being conducted. Now let's take a look at how things are shaping up for us at the weekend weather-wise over at the AccuWeather headquarters.
AccuWeather is presented by BF&M Insurance Group. We now go to AccuWeather headquarters.
AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by the BF&M Insurance Group, and we have some somewhat active weather in the forecast for Bermuda in the form of some extra showers. But before we really turn our attention locally, that on the edge of the map is Ophelia, a hurricane that's moving northeast. It may clip the Azores with near tropical storm force winds, and it may even project some strong winds, potentially gusting to hurricane force into Ireland in a few days, by Tuesday, Monday night into Tuesday. But for us, as we look at the Bermuda area here, there's some moisture convergence, basically moisture coming together from multiple different directions, and we're going to see some problems tied to that in the form of some frequent showers here over the next few days. The basically high-res view here shows the likelihood of some rain increasing as this plume of moisture approaches from the southwest, and it's a squeeze play. There's another front just draped to the north. Here's the the estimate of where it's raining based on satellite, and there is a pretty good little plume of rain to the south and southwest, and not too many showers are surviving at this point with the front off to our north, but it will be basically kind of a focusing mechanism to produce extra showers in the area as these two things converge. 78 and 79 degrees right now. Humidity is around 70 to 75%. Wind is generally light from the east. Water temps up a bit, up to 81. On the inside, we have waves of 1 to 3 feet, but it is choppy on the outside with these disturbances nearby producing 5 to 9 foot waves. So not the best boating weather. Some showers will be nearby, 74 for your low. And tomorrow we're going to go with a breezy day with some off and on showers. Some will be a little brief, but it may downpour with a little bit of intensity at moments as well. Highs near 80 degrees. And the tidal chart, or schedule if you will, is showing that high tide was at 4:02. We have another one, low tide, coming up at 10:33. The next high tide for the early risers before sunrise at 4:35 a.m. And then we'll have another low tide for those searching for sand dollars approaching midday tomorrow in the late morning. We do have some leftover drizzle and a few showers here and there into places like New York and Boston. They will not last long. Toronto looks a little bit dreary as well, but temperatures are up across the east. Miami, spotty thunderstorms. London, 67, but getting ready for some wind associated with Ophelia in a few more days, although the worst of it will pass west of London. Now, Hurricane Ophelia is the only real tropical development out there. 5-day forecast shows we have some off and on showers Saturday and Sunday, and then the rain will probably increase as we just got stuck under a wet weather pattern with a disturbance draped right across Bermuda Monday and Tuesday, a wetter time. Pretty humid out there as well. Wednesday, we'll go with mostly cloudy skies and some scattered showers out there. So it is going to be kind of a wet 3, 4, 5-day period of time. You'll hear some more wet forecasts and some good music, news as well on Ocean 89, Power 95, and Inspire 105.
AccuWeather was presented by BF&M Insurance Group.
Bermuda. Get ready for the event that you've been waiting for. Saturday, October 14th at the newly renovated Hamilton Princess Harbor View Ballroom. Smirnoff, Johnny Walker, and Heineken presents the DJ Youngles Animal Big People's Party. An event where old school meets new school in an incredible night of all Bermudian talent. Saturday, October 14th from 9 to 2 a.m. Mikey B, Juggling J, DJ Kavan, DJ Chum. For one night only. Saturday, October 14th from 9 to 2 a.m. It's Bermuda's best talent of old school and new at the Hamilton Princess Harbor View Ballroom. Part of proceeds will go directly to SCARS and the Caribbean Hurricane Relief Fund. Tickets for the night are $40 in advance, $50 at the gate, $100 VIP. All tickets available from Party Headquarters, Custom Acoustics, the 27th Century, and online at ptix.bm. That's ptix.bm. It's a night you won't want to forget, and a night you'll choose to remember. All of Bermuda's best, representing old school and new, because it ain't no party like a Youngles party.
That's the beautiful rhythm that we've seen from Duffy all season. all smiles from a very proud Bermudian who wins the title, defends her title with maximum points, 5,200, her 6th win of the season.
Let's check in with Earl Baisden with the latest from the sports desk.
Young Bermuda baseballers and their parents got a dream of a lifetime when former professional baseball right fielder Del Strawberry paid them a visit at the Fairmont Southampton earlier today. During his career, he helped the New York Mets to a World Series championship in 1986 and the New York Yankees to 3 World Series championships in 1996, 98, and 99. Strawberry was voted to the All-Star game 8 straight years from 1984 through to 91. Strawberry had this message to the parents in the room.
Parents, and get back to the table of being parents, because we lose so many young people in our society today. And, we just really need to reach our young kids and put on the table to them what's really important. We've kind of been missing that. We need to get back to that. So I really try to encourage, families about that more than anything. And parents, when your kids are playing sports, let them play. Oh, y'all missed that. Just let them play. Let them have fun. Let them be kids. I think too many times we get so serious about stretching them and trying to make them major league players at such young age, trying to make them this. And they're just kids. Just let them have fun right now. Let them play. Support them. Let them play. We have a lot of craziness going out at the ballpark, yelling at the umpires and stuff like that. Parents, just chill out. Just kind of chill out and let the kids have fun.
Key Wells played 59 minutes earlier today for Burnley's Development League team against Nottingham Forest at City Ground. Wells and his teammates finished the match at 1-1. Following the match, Wells was credited as saying, "It was good to get some minutes under my belt after a long 3 or 4 months." Wells went on to say, "To come out of it fit and healthy is the most important thing. I felt good. My fitness is still lacking, but that's going to come in the next couple of weeks. In training, I have felt really well, but there's nothing like playing a match." End quote. Meanwhile, Nathan Trott and his West Ham United's band of internationals returned to the pitch in the October sunshine yesterday. England under-20 goalkeeper Trott and his teammates were all present at Rush Green as they stepped up preparations for tomorrow's Premier League match at Wells's Burnley. Both Ethan and Elijah Daly competed in the Far Western Swimming Championships. Elijah Daly, competing in the 11-12 boys age group division, set one Bermuda record during the meet. Elijah Daly finished 32nd, competing in the 200-meter freestyle with a time of 2:21.69. He would then finish 26th during the 400-meter freestyle, touching the wall in a time of 4:53.29. Elijah Daly would finish 34th, competing in the 200-meter breaststroke, clocking 3:10.17. He would next finish 14th in the 200-meter butterfly with a time of 2:39.14. That time would break Jesse Washington's time of 2:46.02, set back on April 16, 2012, during the 27th Carifta Swimming Championships in Nassau, Bahamas. Elijah Daly's time of 2:42.07 saw him finish 40th in the 200-meter individual medley before closing out with a time of 5:40.26 during the 400-meter individual medley. Ethan Daly, competing in the 16-year-old boys division, he would touch the water on a time of 57.26 on his way to finishing 38th in the 100-meter freestyle. During the 400-meter freestyle, Ethan Daly would finish 50th, clocking a time of 4:32.01. A time of 1:02.91 saw Ethan Daly finish 39th during the 100-meter butterfly. He would then finish 44th, competing in the 200-meter individual medley. Ethan Daly would close out competing in the 400-meter individual medley, clocking a time of 5:04.15 to finish 23rd. Taking a look at two events that will take place tomorrow at 8:30 a.m., the Special Olympics torch runs will get underway from Somerset and St. George and will both meet at the National Sports Center in preparation for a track meet tomorrow afternoon. Meanwhile, Winreach will be hosting its 7th annual Andrew Farris archery tournament at their facility on Spice Hill in Warwick from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. The tournament is in memory of Mr. Farris, who was an active participant in the Winreach Archery and Adaptive Sports program for many years. In the latest round of Bermuda Pool League play saw 7 matches played across the island. Bermuda Breeze defeated BAA Bandits 233 to 125. The Kings defeated the HWC Pitbull 220 to 156. The Knights defeated the Dragons 215 to 146, while Bailiff Bay defeated BPSU 209 to 163. Ward Workmen's defeated the St. George's Saints 208 to 160, while the Prison Officers Alley Shooters defeated RAA 205 to 172. The BBC Cricketers defeated Warwick Gladiators 214 to 144. I'm Earl Baisden with Bermuda Broadcasting Sports.
Hey Smokey, let's get lunch from the Marketplace Food Court. You know what? That sounds good. They have oxtails, pumpkin, curried lamb, lemon chicken, sweet and sour ribs, vegetable stir fry, and the variety goes on.
Their chefs are good. They'll set you right up with all the good carvings.
And don't forget the special dishes from the islands.
It don't matter. Well, no matter what you feel like eating, Marketplace will have it.
You know, it's quick, it's quality, and at prices you can count on.
Visit us 7 days a week. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Made for you daily at the Hamilton Marketplace Food Court.
Cross comes in and it's won by Clark, but put back in. Huddersfield have scored, and it is Naki Wells.
Naki Wells, 3-0.
Ball into the area, and again, and this time it's turned in by Naki Wells.
Bermuda Broadcasting streams the news live on Facebook. Go to Facebook and look up ZBM News 9 and press the like button. You'll get notifications just before the news starts each night. And all of our newscasts are stored there so you can watch them 24/7 at your convenience. Bermuda Broadcasting wants to make it easy for you to stay up to date with your local news. So please sign up to watch us on Facebook Live 24/7 for up-to-date news from Bermuda Broadcasting.
Technology fans around the world are eagerly awaiting Apple's release of the iPhone X, expected to be early next month to coincide with the 10th anniversary of the iPhone. The iPhone 8 was released worldwide last month and is described by CNET as a status quo device, sporting wireless charging for the first time, an upgraded camera, and available in a new shade of gold. But it's expected Apple's iPhone X will offer even more advanced features, such as the ability to unlock the device using facial recognition. Here at home, it appears many have chosen to ignore the iPhone 8 and wait out for the advanced 10. Diana De Silva, the manager at the audiovisual electronics store in Hamilton, explains.
The iPhone X has a bit more features than the iPhone 8. We do have people that are purchasing the 8, but they're still waiting for the 10.
Now, what's so special about the 10? Would it be the facial recognition?
Yes, for sure. That's one of the features that people are looking for.
Now, for our viewers who may not understand that feature, how does it work? How would it work?
I guess you would just look at the phone and it will open up.
Now, as far as the 8 is concerned, for those who may have older iPhone models, what's the difference? Why is the 8 better?
I personally don't necessarily think that they're better because the older iPhones can increase to the same software as the iPhone 8. The disadvantages is that sometimes people with the older models do the software update and have issues, whereas me personally, I find they design it for the newer models and not necessarily test it in full for the older models.
In your opinion, what is the difference between the two main phones, the Android versus the iPhone?
I just think with the Apple products, it seems to have more of a safer format. They tend to not being able to hack into things and stuff like that. With Android, it allows you to do a little bit more where you could download from different sites. And with these things, with the Apple products, you have to stick with iTunes, but it's definitely a lot more secure.
And that's our broadcast for this Friday evening. I'm Jasmine Patterson. Thanks for watching. Good night.
Jasmine Patterson's wardrobe and makeup is provided by Gibbons Company.